Listen, mental health issues are real. And I don't know if it's mental health. I just know when you look in Gucci Mane's eyes, you see something or somebody staring back at you that you should not fuck with. And I saw this back in 2004. I'm telling you, he wasn't even iced out flossy Gucci. He had on like some jean shorts, like a polo with a bandana tied around his head. I mean, he might have had some braids. He just looked me dead in my eyes. And what I saw back terrified me. What I was looking back at absolutely terrified me. Gucci Mane is the boogeyman of hip-hop.
Let's talk about this boy Zoro, man. So today we're going to talk about Zoro, and more specifically, why Zoro is the Gucci Mane of One Piece. Don't look at me like that. Y'all know y'all have to trust me. So let's go ahead and break this down. So the first reason why Zoro is the Gucci Mane of One Piece is he's loyal. Introduced in chapter 3 or episode 1 in the anime, this man Zoro has basically been here since day 1. Okay, and time again, his resolve has been tested, and he's always here to hold his crew down. Luffy has complete trust in him, and he has complete trust in Luffy. Let's take Zoro versus Mihawk, for example. During that fight, Zoro gets absolutely washed. But we learned so much more than that. We see that Zoro is actually a follower of Bushido, which is the way of the sword, meaning he fights fair and he would never attack an opponent while they have their back turned. But what's even crazier is that upon Zoro's recognition of Hawkeye Mihawk, he actually is the first person in our crew willing to take on a warlord. At this point in the story, we didn't even know anything about the warlords. We didn't know who the warlords were. We just know that they were insanely strong. Zoro's the first person to step up to the plate. And yeah, he loses. We're not going to dwell on that too much. But at this point, he makes a promise to his captain that he will never lose again. And he does this time and time again. I mean, take Zoro versus Kuma. We all know what happened. Nothing happened. Man, Zoro versus Kizaru, he was about to go down like a champ. Like Lil Boosie on death row, Zoro might be the most loyal person in One Piece. And that brings me to my next point. Zoro ain't no punk, and he ain't nobody to play with. Listen, Zoro's here to make Luffy the Pirate King and become the strongest swordsman in the world. Either you get with that or you get gone. Usopp experienced this firsthand. When he lost his duel with Luffy, Zoro was the person that said, hey, I'm sorry, man, you lost, that means you gotta go. And even at the end of the arc, when Usopp's trying to come back, Luffy was just gonna let him walk in, and Zoro had to stand up and be like, nah, bro, you disrespected the captain. You left the crew, that means you gotta go. And if you have to come back, you gotta apologize. You essentially have to beg to come back. And Zoro was not gonna let this man back on that ship without this man getting on his knees and crying tears. Zoro is nobody to play with. I'll say it one more time. By this point, he had made his promise to Kuina and he had made his promise to Luffy. And if you're not with that plan, then get going. He did the same thing with Sanji at Zou. Luffy was just gonna rush off to go find Sanji, and Zoro had to stand up and be like, hey bro, I don't think this is a good idea. You should just let Sanji do what he has to do. We shouldn't go chasing this man into another Yonko's territory. Now, of course, Luffy being Luffy, he did it anyways, but Zoro definitely has that mindset of we need to keep this train going. Anybody who wants to fall off the train, that's up to them. But we don't have time for these games. And it's that exact mindset why not only Luffy, but Zoro himself is also a part of this worst generation. And he's up there with the very best, which brings me to my next point. Zoro is one of the top tier. Now, I just want us to be honest with ourselves here. How much stronger is Luffy than Zoro? Just an honest question. I mean, we've seen them fight before, but to no real conclusion, so the question still has to be asked. I mean, sure, Luffy has Gear 4, but Zoro has Ashura, and even Kaido felt Ashura. And this makes sense, right? During the 2-year time skip, he was trained by the strongest swordsman in the world to be the strongest swordsman in the world. It just makes sense. If you look back at Fishman Island, when Luffy used his Conqueror's Haki to knock out 50,000 fishmen, everybody was surprised except Zoro. Zoro took the stance that, yeah, if you're my captain, you gotta at least be able to knock out 50,000 fishmen with Conqueror's Haki. And spoiler alert for all our anime-only watchers, Zoro unlocked Conqueror's Haki in this arc and is using it the same way that Luffy is using it in this arc. So the way that Luffy is actually coding his attacks with Conqueror's Haki, Zoro is going to be doing that against King. So not only did he unlock Conqueror's Haki in this arc, but he'll also be using it to code his attacks. I mean, talk about a fast learner. Now, seriously, ask yourself, if and when Luffy becomes Pirate King, how much weaker will Zoro be than the Pirate King? My next point is that this man Zoro loves beef. I mean, it doesn't really matter what situation he's in, Zoro wants all the smoke. So we know the formula that Oda uses when it comes to organizing his battles in One Piece. Luffy takes on the leader, Zoro takes on the second strongest, Sanji takes on the third strongest, so on and so forth. But isn't it a little strange that as of the time skip, Zoro always kind of tests himself against the leader as well? Like, if you take Fishman Island, Zoro took on Hody Jones before Luffy took on Hody Jones. Zoro took on Kaido as well. You know, he wasn't afraid to take that challenge on. Zoro even took on Kaido and Big Mom together. Now, ain't that a... And that's it. He just has that super street, take on all challengers, Vegeta mindset that if Luffy can do it, I gotta at least try it. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to do it too. Now, Zoro's been around, all right? And let's be real here. Luffy's really just lucky to have Zoro on side. You know what I'm saying? If not, Zoro probably would have turned Luffy in for the bounty already. Let's be honest. I mean, you don't want no problems with this guy. And if you see him coming, just go ahead and stay clear. Now, I must admit, since the time skip, he's definitely changed himself for the better. Doesn't get lost as much. He might have a tiny bit more compassion, but he can definitely, if you want to take it there, he can go back to his old ways. He can definitely go back to the old Zoro. Go ahead and ask Monet about that. But honestly, no one works harder, is more adaptive, and is more self-confident than this legend of a man, Guap of the One Piece universe. This is the pirate hunter, Roronoa Zoro. Or if you grew up in the US like me, Zolo. I'm just kidding. I just want to give a quick thanks to everybody who's watched the video this far. I want you to go ahead and drop a comment below telling me exactly if you think Zoro could be the Gucci Mane of this universe. I actually really enjoying these videos, so also drop a comment on just exactly who you would like me to do next. If you have any ideas, make sure to drop a like on the video, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on all social media platforms at Anime Sifu, and stay safe, stay healthy, and I will catch you guys next time.